on to you Capricorns out there? Hopefully y'all are having a good day. So you have the Nine of Wands, the Sun card, and then you Capricorns also have the Three of Wands. So what's going on here for you, from based upon what it is that I can see, is that you're actually addressing certain situations that popped up in your life. Once again, by moving forward, a lot of you are not waiting around for an individual to figure it out. They've essentially got to figure it out for themselves. Otherwise, you're just not going to go. And why should you? You Capricorns have things to do, people to see, places to go. And you don't have time to be arguing or bickering with a person who essentially chooses to be just stupid, dysfunctional. They don't want to get up and be out here and get it on their own, pretty much, right? Just lazy, laying up and moping up around the house. No, you Capricorns don't want to interact with anyone, family, significant others. If you find out that a significant other is doing that you're trying to get to know, you Capricorns will more than likely dump them because you're serious. You're not dealing with that nonsense. And why would you Capricorns deal with it? Because at the end of the day, all it is that they're going to do is just try to essentially bring you down along with them, right? And so the Seven of Swords and the Six of Wands here for you Capricorns are also basically, you are keeping yourself guarded or protected from that. Your presence is how it is that one of the ways that you keep yourself protected. Where it is that you Capricorns actually happen to be is how you keep yourself protected. If you're not hanging around goofies, then unless they're working some form of like magic or root work, they're not going to be able to actually have access to you in the first place, right? So the Six of Wands also represents how, again, you moving forward. So there's a lot of you Capricorns deciding to really move your feet and not necessarily wasting time when it comes to interacting with people that don't make sense. And I've talked about this before, that you have the crocodile / alligator, same thing basically. And then you have the sea goat, and then you have the mountain goat, and then you have the unicorn. A lot of you Capricorns can start implementing certain ideas into your evolution. And when I say start that ideas, start implementing or using ideas, I'm talking about it from the perspective of you Capricorns understanding that if a person, and this is something that I tell Aries all the time, if a person doesn't make sense to actually be in your life, why are they there, right? Like, I'm not talking about just acquaintances. These are people whom you just loosely kind of know, right? You know them from around the way. I'm talking about, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about supposedly active people in your life. If they don't really bring value, then why is it that they're even there in the first place? And so it's this situation for you Capricorns where you can start looking at it a little bit more like that, in that lens, in that aspect, because once again, if they don't have value, then why exactly is it that they're even there in the first place, right? All it is that they're going to ultimately do is waste your time. So there's this sense of you Capricorns having to understand to not allow, like I said, to not allow people to waste your time, right? To not allow people to just be standing around. Because remember, Capricorn, y'all are about worthiness. And, if a person doesn't have their own thing going on and they're lazy, well, then how are they worthy to really spend a lot of time hanging out with you and asking you for anything? You know what I mean? And so the thing is that now you have the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and then now you Capricorns also have the Page of Cups. And so the Seven of Cups, this is what I'm talking about. Seven of Cups, Knight of Wands, Page of Cups. Look at all this brand new opportunity that you Capricorns have, that you are creating for yourself. You're not just standing around and doing nothing and all up in other people's faces, asking them for things. You Capricorns are actually around, talking to people, getting to know people, and making connections with people. You know what I mean? Already. And so because of that, this is a situation for you where a lot of you Capricorns are in a spiritually where you understand that a person just can't be in your life, right? You know, French Montana said this, who's a Scorpio, but French Montana said, you know, he gave Chinks money to move away from the hood, and Chinks moved like 3 blocks away, 5 blocks away, you know, from the hood that he said he was trying to get out of. You know, like it's this same, you know, no disrespect to Chinks, but you know, it's the same kind of ideology. It's like, well, you know what I mean, having these type, and I'm not saying Chinks is useless, but I'm saying that the people that Chinks probably was hanging around was useless, you know, because what worth were they? And that's because I actually like Chinks. I listened to some of his music, right, when he was around. Shout outs to him, you know what I mean? But the thing is that that's the point that I'm trying to make. For you Capricorns, what is the value of said people if they're not really actually bringing in any kind of value, but they're looking towards you, Capricorns, to just do everything for them for perpetuity, right? Just forever. And the Page of Cups right here represents, they just think that asking you for things is enough. You're not a genie, right? Like, you know, you're not anyone else's genie. You're a genie for yourself, but you Capricorns are not someone else's genie where it's like you're just supposed to be expected to just be okay with just people, you know, rub the lamp a few times, and then the genie just pops out of it. Y'all just pop out of it, and then they have like some more wishes, and then you grant those wishes or whatever. That's not how it works. Everybody got to basically get up and if they can, if they're in a position to, and handle their business. And so the Magician and the Fool card here represents how a lot of you are in a position where what you Capricorns have is $1 in a dream to make you some cream, you know, $1 in a dream. You Capricorns are very much so focused on what you've got going on. And because of that fact, a lot of you Capricorns, this is one of the reasons why it is I say you can start to actually use that kind of idea now, because now it's appropriate. The more money you get, the more people you're going to have around you sometimes that all they want to do is just come around you and get some money. They're not actually bringing anything for real to the table of value like that. And so the Magician and the Fool card here represents the world right now is your oyster. You know, whenever it is that I say that, that lets you know it's a good thing, because it means that everything right now is working to what you want it to be. You know, there's not really a single thing that's working to go up against you, to be your adversary. The entire world right now is going with the grain of you Capricorns because of how you set it up, how you've actually made things. And so because of that, this is a situation for you where, you know, the Fool card also is a representation about how you Capricorns are not shying away from what you got to do. You're actually going full-fledged forward because you're not wasting any kind of time. You're doing what it is that you got to do. That's what's up. And so let's clarify the Fool card. You have the Ten of Gabriel, the Empress, the Decision, which is Capricorn. I got you. Don't worry about it. Then you have the Seven of Michael. And then you have the Knight of Raphael. So the Ten of Gabriel, the Empress, and the Decision is about how you Capricorns, to clarify the Fool card, this speaks about how you Capricorns for you, this is like this is about how, again, the decision is, you've made your decision about what it is that you're going to do. You're going to take chances and you're going to continue to invest, build your finances, build yourself up, stay healthy, all that good stuff. You're not worried about the nonsense that other people got going on, right? You're minding your business. As far as the significant other, once again, if you Capricorns have someone that you're getting to know, you're still dating them more than likely. If they're one of the people that you have to essentially cut off because they are not keeping up with their end of the bargain, they're not able to pull their own weight, then essentially they have to go, because everybody has to be adults that stand on their own 2 feet. You shouldn't want to have to deal with anybody that leans on you too much, not even a significant other. Doesn't matter which side you're on. No one should overtly lean on anybody else. You have an individual standing next to you and they're stupid. They really have no skills. They can do nothing. They're completely unprepared no matter what situation they're in. You know what I mean? Those people are really a weight, an added weight to you. They're not really individuals that you Capricorns can say you proud to walk down the street, call your significant other, whoever they may be, regardless of whatever you into. And so, like I said before, you don't want to have them around you, and you're not going to. But for them, they can't think about anything else other than trying to get you Capricorns to get their attention. But it doesn't really matter because they don't have access to you like that. So it's like, this is just like thoughts that's going through their head. And the Seven of Michael and the Knight of Raphael for you is about how you're in a place spiritually where, because you understand it for what it is, you know what I mean? You have to be mindful about the quality of the people that you Capricorns say that you're going to let into your life. Because if you're not ready for the quality of those people, you will have individuals that just treat you like however because they take you for granted. And that's not something that a person should do to a Capricorn at all. You Capricorns have a lot more to offer than just money. And how you got the money, like I've been talking about, is you didn't just get the money from working. You got the money from the Most High. The Most High provides the money. Companies can go bankrupt and go under at any time. But regardless of how much they pull in a year, but what makes it so that you Capricorns are able to actually continue to prosper is the Most High. For whatever reason, the Most High keeps, the Most High can be found in the heart, by the way. For whatever reason, the Most High keeps y'all afloat, not just floating, but swimming well. So that's pretty much it for now. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We're at 29,957 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever it is that I drop my videos. Peace, Capricorn.